Wow. I literally just been looking at the screen waiting for this thing to. I know I keep complaining about this streaming software, but I don't feel like looking for a new one. Just being honest. But man, usually I feel bad about coming to the stream not as prepared as I want to. But if you're in the Patreon, you already know it's been a crazy morning. Um, and I have my stories over here, and I'm still getting them together and trying to get them in order. But we were just we were just up at 71. It's retraced a little bit. A lot of people saying they think we're gonna break all time highs and all that kind of good stuff. As you know, I mean, yeah, it's cool when it happens, right? But I'm this is too early to be focused on that stuff. Let me fix a couple things over here. I am getting my stuff together, y'all. I mean, my stories are nowhere in order at all. Not even close. What is this thing doing? But good morning. Hopefully, I'm just staring at the screen. Good morning. I'm not supposed to be talking and all that good stuff, but hopefully everybody's having a good morning. Um, like I said, we had a very busy day this morning. Even be honest, even the people in the Patreon don't know because I'm like over here just like keyboard, VPN off, VPN on, turned. It's just like all over the place. I just felt like I was like a secretary for a billionaire or something, just all over the place. Um, I don't want to get into that story too much. Cause so this morning I was looking into my stories and stuff and getting them together, and then just a lot of stuff happened, and so I really just couldn't even get to doing stuff the way I wanted to, or get all my stories in order. I don't know why one of my stories is missing now. Whatever. All right, give me a couple of seconds here, y'all. Y'all should know by now. I'm not trying to be NBC News. I just come here to talk to you guys, report the news, and all that kind of good stuff. And all right, let's get going. Let's get going. Story's a little bit out of order or whatever, but get your questions in, whatever you're thinking, comments, concerns. What do they say? Comments, concerns. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Bitcoin was headed up to it got up to 71.5 for a minute. I remember a lot of people saying yesterday, and I'm going to keep repeating this until because you have a while to kind of get this into your mindset of all these genius people who are like, well, when this happens, this has to happen because this is how it always happened, blah, 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 blah. And so, we had what happened here, we had retraced down to um 61 a couple of times, right? Which even in trading terms, you just call it's a double bottom. You create the little M, or I'm not M, I was about to say upside down M, or the W, and then after the double bottom, or double bottom, you go up, double top, you go down, whatever, whatever. But for some reason, people were still saying they were calling this other little wave right here, like, oh, it's a third one, then it's going to go down. And so all of a sudden, we just shot up yesterday. We started shooting up to like 69,000, I think it was yesterday. Let me pull this out to the 7 day. I try not to talk about trading stuff, but you kind of got to know this stuff. But yeah, we had shot up to like 69. As you see, we kind of continued on, from yesterday, and we started getting up to the 71,000 range or whatever. And yeah, it's a little retracement now back to 69. But anyway, what I was saying was after it kept dropping and everybody was like, I told you, we definitely heading for 55K. Once again, I don't get caught up in that stuff. But what I'm mentioning it because people will see people talking about this stuff, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna buy lower, I'm gonna just wait, and you just sit on the sidelines, and then you don't buy, and the prices of your altcoins or whatever you're trying to buy starts going up, and you miss a good buying opportunity. That's even when a lot of times, like I said, when I have tokens that I want to buy into, I'm fully aware sometimes, like 80%, this is probably going to go down a little bit more, but sometimes you just got to get in a position. It's better to buy at a good entry if it goes lower than to watch it go 20% up, and now you buying way less. And it's a mental game you have to play with yourself, and you just have to get your mental together now. And I know a lot of people are really, to be honest, having kind of trouble right now And as I always say on this channel, I empathize with anybody who deals with anxiety or you just can't handle these price swings. I understand that. Um, but I'm letting you know that if it's hard for you right now, just try to get acclimated right now because it's going to get much crazier. And I'm just throwing out a number. This is random numbers, but let's say you start your portfolio with $1,000, right? And you're just not in a you're not in a place where you could really be losing this $1,000 or whatever. And that's what you have to invest for the cycle. There's going to get to a point where that $1,000 is going to get up to 20,000 and preferably 30, 40,000, right? And you get up to 40,000 and you're feeling good, and this is just gonna become a big drop, and you drop back to 24. You're gonna be ready to lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you started with 1,000, now you're like, this is 40,000, like this is some good money or whatever. And then it drops to like 27. Actually, one of the people that started early with me had this happen to them, so I'm kind of telling the scenario. So they started with about 1,500 early in the bear market, y'all. So that's why if you get in late, the later you get in the cycle, the longer you sometimes have to wait for your gains. But anyway, they got in the bear market and put 1,700 in, and it went up high, and then they did this big retracement, and so you start panicking or whatever. But you just have to get used to that. You really have to get used to it because it's gonna be bigger drops of money. Right now, I see, you may have $1,000 and it drops to 600. If you think that feels bad, wait till that. Like I said, it's 40,000 and it drops to 25. Like it can get to you. But we'll be trying to on the channel. We'll be trying to make sure that we, well, Patreon and the channel, mainly the Patreon, but trying to make sure people kind of understand where we are in the cycle. Um, whether or not you want to, where you want to kind of sell out at, and depending on what your positions are or whatever. But anyway, like I said, if you're on Twitter, you see the people. They were saying it. Oh, we're going to at least 57K because we were like 61 or whatever. They were saying we are going to 57, 55, but here we are up here at 70,000. Even after that low, see that drop? See how quick that can happen? Like we're down here, and I bet you somebody on Twitter said something like, "Oh, we're going down further." And now we back up here to 70. Chill in the short term. Just get all that out of your head. Like you're gonna stress yourself out trying to focus on this stuff. I did not get my stories in order. I also did not get as many stories as I wanted to, and really pick and choose the stories I want. But I will talk about some of the ones that I have here. Once again, it's been a busy morning. So yeah. So it says finally this is close enough to the Saylor playbook, Michael Saylor, who MicroStrategies buying up all the Bitcoin. He's been a believer since last cycle. He don't really care. He don't really care what price he buy it at. He's just buying it. But it said I predict 20 companies will make similar announcements in quarter two. This was a little weird. They announced it said Neelam Resources enters letters of intent to buy 24 or 25,000 Bitcoin. It's kind of weird. They mention how much. I don't know. I think they should have just said that they're going to buy Bitcoin. Um, I don't know. This could be to pump the price of Bitcoin. I don't know, but it is going to be interesting when more companies start announcing like that they hold Bitcoin or whatever, because they do have to say. It's kind of like when Elon mentioned that Tesla had Bitcoin, and of course Elon with Dogecoin and all that kind of stuff. But it's just going to be interesting when you see people just talking about how much Bitcoin they hold or have on their balance sheets or whatever, blah blah blah. Mhm. I don't know if these numbers were. I'll just talk around this one because I don't know if these numbers on this article are right. I didn't check. Um, but So, like I've been saying this for weeks now. Like I think that with the ETF inflows, it's very bullish. Yesterday was not it wasn't the best day for inflows, to be honest. Um, but like I said I think they're using the ETFs to kind of control the price of the Bitcoin. Like you have the ETFs are buying up the Bitcoin, but you have the grayscale outflows. And to my belief, that's what I believe. I believe they're using the outflows from grayscale to control the price so it doesn't fly too fast or whatever. Because if it wasn't for that, to be honest, this price would be, I mean, we'll be at least 78,000 by now. Um, we are closing in on what March has 31 days. So 5 days until we get into April, which is the month of the halvening. Some people still think it's going to spill into May. Another thing, I don't try to really, it's going to be couple of weeks difference, whether it's April or May. I'm not going to get in that argument because I see people getting in like heated arguments over that, which I think is stupid. It don't matter. Like 6 to 8 weeks that Bitcoin halving is going to be here. But most people are saying April, so we're a couple of days away from April. So the news will get out. You'll see even news sources talking about Bitcoin having blah blah blah, and then it'll make people more bullish on it. But in bearish news, I'm so tired of her, to be honest. Once again, y'all, it's not political. I don't really care what your political affiliations are, what your political parties are. I do not care. I do not care. But I'm saying is Elizabeth Warren she getting on my nerves because it's very obvious that she's trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin so her friends can still get in. They don't want retail to get in now. Granted, some of us, if you're being honest with yourself, you don't either. You want to pack your bags and accumulate, let retail come in later. Once again, I say this all the time: someone has to lose for somebody to win. Whether it's, stock market is less volatile, but it's the same game. It's the same game and everything. And I always say, even with real estate, somebody went and they bought some plywood, which I don't plan on building my house with, but whatever. They bought some yellow wood and they got some supplies for about 60 to maybe $80,000, right? And then they built a house and they sold it to you for anywhere between $350 to $700,000, and they made profit. Sorry, but all of us, if you buy a home, you are exit liquidity. So it doesn't matter what you invest in, somebody's always going to be the exit liquidity. But anyway, she's just saying it's trash to try to same tired stuff. Used for criminal, blah blah blah. I mean, they've been money laundering since forever. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all been doing this with cash forever. But anyway, when I talk to people about crypto and Bitcoin, sometimes they will bring up her name and say what she thinks about it. And the government is not gonna, because they're not deep into crypto every day like you are. So they're like, the government is not gonna let this happen because blah 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 blah. And so all I can say is the FUD is working on some people, but it's not gonna work on me. Might be some bugs on some of you mugs, but it ain't no bugs on me. I won't talk about that one because I did not research that deep enough. I am not about to try to go into alpha that I don't even understand yet myself. I will say this though: there's some people who listen to Elizabeth Warren and Jamie Dimon's square-headed self. But then there's the people on the other side that do kind of know what's going on. So it says the Coinbase shares rallies 9% as Bitcoin price bounces off of 70,000. So I'm gonna pull up the chart for you as well. So what happened to this chart? What the world just happened? Cut off the line. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Okay, whatever. Y'all can see this. So even in the past 5 days, so anybody that's holding coin is probably feeling pretty good right now. It's 20%. Up on the 5 days. It was up 10% on the day. I don't know what happened there, but messed up my news story. But anyway, it was up 10% on the day, but something's wrong with the chart right now. So I think it still is, but whatever. But it's been moving. And also on top of that, let's see it. And on top of that, MicroStrategy has also been moving. It's 40% up on 5 days. And I believe it was, 20% on the day or something like that. But yeah, 30, 40% on the 5 day, whatever it looked like is retracing a little bit. But what I'm saying is other people starting to find out retail is going to slowly start trickling back in. And there's going to be multiple waves of this. I tell people even now, somebody joined the Patreon, and one of my earliest members, like before we even had the Patreon, to be honest, because some of y'all don't know the Patreon is only like maybe 2 months old, maybe 3 months old. So before this, we had a text group or whatever. So one of the guys in the text group, I guess he ran into someone that introduced him, to crypto and the channel and showing him the gains that we had gotten. Like I told you guys, since the bear market, I don't know where I'm at now, probably higher. But since the bear market, I had 37x my portfolio, and so one of my people, they got in the bear market with me, and so they were showing. I'm sorry, long story, but they were showing the person the gains they got, and it was like, hey, cryptos will help me get this or whatever. And so what I explained to them is like, you got to watch. It's depending on the time you get in the cycle, because you have those times when the market runs, which is bear market going until the start of the bulls when you get that quick run. But then there's a part where the prices are quiet and it's kind of just chill mode. So there's only a few parabolic phases. But what I'm saying is, retail is going to come in waves where we get these little parabolic runs, and it's going to be quiet for a minute. If you're watching the channel and you're new yourself, realize that no, it's not always just up. You may have just heard somebody say, yeah, man, my whole portfolio just went 10x in 2 months. But when you get in the market, it might be just chill and quiet. It might just be steady water for 2-3 months. So it depends on where you get in at. But it's all about a patience game, as I keep saying, even with some of the tokens we got. I I even saw some people talking about a few this morning, but the patience game, you always feel kind of crazy when you're waiting. But once the price takes off, you feel like a genius. You don't remember any of the patience that you had before. And then you start to get greedy and you like, it runs a 10x or a 20x. And then you're like, why is it not running? You quickly forget you just got a 20x. So you got to just, manage your expectations and try to, be in chill mode. I'm almost done here, to be honest, y'all. So if y'all got any questions or whatever, y'all can go ahead and put them in the chat. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the Patreon, you kind of know what kind of morning it's been. So I had a slew of news stories up here, and I didn't get to really get them together like I wanted to. This one I didn't read into much, but I already listen. Even without reading it all the way, I already know my take on it. I'm gonna read it and say my take anyway. If you're new to the channel, you'll be hearing it for the first time. But it says Bybit. Wait, I don't even know what it's like that. Bybit launches smart leverage ahead of Bitcoin halving. Smart leverage is a structured product that is not principal protected, targeting traders looking to profit from significant price movements like V-shaped recoveries. Bybit has launched smart leverage and whatever. I hate when they repeat, but whatever. Bybit has launched Smart Leverage, a new product under its Bybit Earn portfolio, which enables users to better leverage market opportunities, especially with the anticipated Bitcoin halving event on the horizon. Smart Leverage offers traders the ability to take high leverage positions up to 200 times with the unique feature of full liquidation protection until the settlement date. The product is designed for trading short term volatility in Bitcoin and Ether, safeguarding users from sudden market fluctuations that could otherwise close their positions permanently. If y'all want to believe this, you can if you want to. I just see it as a marketing tactic to say, hey, man, you're not going to lose as much. Like, come on over here and play on the dark side. Once again, I say this to say, not to be in a condescending way. I'm sure a lot of you guys are older than me, more mature, much wiser, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm not trying to say that, but I do always use the example of, as I used it on a couple of streams ago, where a lot of parents don't want to talk to their children about the bedroom activities, the birds and the bees, because they feel like they're protecting their children. But it's better to go ahead and talk to them about it so they hear it from you and they know how to think about it. That's one thing I think my mom did the best thing going, because a lot of my friends had kids like way early, wasn't in a position to take care of them properly. So I appreciate my mother for going ahead and talking to me about that. Like I said, my father passed when I was a baby, so she had to do a lot of those fatherly duties that may be awkward for her as a mom. But because she talks about them to me, I wasn't one of those people who was curing an STD every 2 weeks, you know what I mean, or having babies too young or whatever. But anyway, so I could hide this from you guys, or I can let you find out about it, and you read it with your own eyes, or you hear it from somebody else. And when they say it, it sounds all good. I need to do better. But it sounds all good when they say it, and then you find yourself playing with leverage again and losing money. Um, and on this topic of leverage and trading, I know I talk about it quite a bit, but I saw a group of my friends or whatever, and they were like, yeah, I tried to make this trade or whatever, and I lost on it. Don't worry, I'm gonna make up for it. Like that's not the game you want to be playing the whole cycle. You want to be constantly making up for your losses. That's why I tell you guys all the time. I'm gonna say one more thing, but that's why I tell you guys all the time. I'm not a trader. You can trade. Like somebody in the group I think they made that way they traded was pretty smart, to be honest. I know it sounds contradicting, but they know what I'm talking about. But trading can really bite you in the butt, because then, like I say, you lose and you got to make up for it, and you're like, oh, cool, I lost twice, I'll make up for both of them, and you just keep playing this make 'em up game instead of just holding. And one thing I will say, some guys I met in the space, I was talking to them, and it sometimes I forget, uh, because I haven't talked about people about it in a while, and I'll say, yeah, this is my third cycle, whatever. First cycle first cycle, I didn't know what it was like. My boss had like talked to me about Bitcoin and said, have you heard this thing called Bitcoin? And maybe made $4,500. Second cycle, and then I mentioned like how much I made, and it was like, what? How? And it's like these guys I respect a lot, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like they made more than me, but I'm just telling you, when you're in the moment of trading, you feel like you making a big win, but it's almost like magic. It doesn't make sense, but at the end of the cycle, somehow the people who just held and bought at good prices make the most money. And usually when I tell people what I made, they're just like, "What? Like how?" Like it's very simple, man. It's very simple. And I'm gonna be honest. Let me say this too. The problem with me now is I think even with some of them, the reason why they're saying how is because they had been in crypto longer. And even for me, it's like once you know so much about crypto, um, it makes you want to trade because you're like, I know what's going on. I know how this thing works or whatever. Last cycle, I was trying to take, wise counsel from people who had been in cycles before and more reserved or whatever. So that's why I felt like, hey, let me listen to these people because they know what they're doing. But even now, I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like I know what I'm doing and I know what's moving and stuff. It makes me like, dang, I should probably take this trade, right? But I try to keep myself grounded and just like try to be a holder. Um, and I would say, to be honest, the Patreon keeps me grounded too because I'm spending so much time not only researching for myself, but trying to research for help other people get financial freedom or whatever. So it limits my time to even want to look at the charts and try to trade or whatever. So it's kind of like they help me as much as I'm helping them. But yes, there's going to be a lot of new little leverage things coming out. Is going to seem attractive, especially when they what was the wording? The wording was with the unique feature of full liquidation protection. Like people just going to read that and it's going to sound really good. It's going to make you want to do it. We had one of the members that did try. I'm not trying to roast you or nothing, but one of the one of the members did try it, and I think they were saying they tried it on the wrong day, but it didn't end up well. But good thing they didn't. I don't think they bet too much, but leverage seems attractive because you hear people talking about it, quick money. But by the time you make quick money a couple of times, you lose a couple of times, you're just doing more work for no reason. Anyway, let me get off that topic because I talk about it quite a bit. This is a friendly reminder or whatever you want to call it because I'm just trying to make sure you guys are aware of some of the stuff I will talk about over and over so because I don't know what days you're watching the channel, which days you're not. Like I kept trying to remind people about the whole Arbitrum trying to choose my words, but the Arbitrum release of tokens or whatever, the vesting schedule. So I try to keep reminding people so they know what was going on. So yeah, it's still around that 169 range even now. Like I said, when I first started talking about this, I think it was at like $2.30 over here, and it's been trailing down. So anyway, I try to remind you guys of these stories so you don't get caught slipping. To remind you once again of this news here with the USDC and on the Tron network, Circle's not messing with them no more, and Binance is ending support for it as well. Oh, I didn't even see that part. But yeah, I just want to keep reminding you guys that if you're holding your dry powder on the side in USDC on the Tron network, because I know in the States a lot of people hold USDC. I mean, excuse me, USDT or whatever, maybe some USDC. But I've been finding out a lot that people outside the States really do hold theirs on like Tron, and they transact in Tron a lot because it is a cheaper blockchain for whatever reason. It's more popular overseas. But you probably want to try to change that to another network because Circle is no longer minting USDC on the Tron network, and so I don't know. I just myself would even do it with USDT too because I don't know, but USDT is kind of like they kind of rogue. They do what they want to do, so it's not like USDC. So maybe USDT is still cool. But as far as USDC, I would go ahead and get that off the Tron network and try to protect yourself in any way you can. This one I'm gonna still read because you can read it in your own time and do your own due diligence and research on this. Um, I've been seeing they said that they are, then somebody said they're not. But this article says no, the EU is not banning self-custodial crypto transactions or wallets. But this story is based around them saying like the EU was trying to make it where I guess they were trying to ban I hate this word, anonymity. They're trying to prevent wallets from being anonymous, is what I'm trying to say. Anonymity. I hate that word. But anyway, they're trying to keep it from. They say they're trying to ban anonymous wallets. So I guess you got to know who the wallet belongs to, which I think is really that's crazy. Like nobody just walks around knowing what's in people's bank accounts. So why would you try to do that with crypto wallets? But this article says they're not doing it. It says incorrect reports that the EU is set to ban anonymous crypto wallets and self-custodial payments went viral over the weekend. It followed a misinterpretation of comments from a member of the European Parliament confirming committee approval of the new EU anti money laundering regulation. However, the reports were swiftly debunked, with Circle's EU strategy and policy director, Patrick Hansen, confirming there was no such ban. The crypto community erupted into panic over the weekend amid incorrect reports that the EU was banning anonymous crypto wallets and self custodial payments. The report seemingly misinterpreted comments from Patrick Breyer, a member of the European Parliament, on Thursday, confirming its Economic and Monetary Policy Committee's approval of new EU anti-money laundering regulations. So, anyway, they say it's fake news and it's not correct, but I don't know. Just try to keep up to date on that if you can, if that's your neck of the woods or whatever. But a lot of people they even trying to say stuff like that in the States, which I think is crazy. I don't care what bank you with, whether it's JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Truist, or whatever. Nobody knows what's in your bank account. So why do y'all think y'all gonna try to bring this on chain or whatever? So we're gonna see what happens with that. I feel like this was a really good story, and it is completely gone right now. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a good because it's at the end, so I know it's a pretty good story. But anyway, this is also an interesting article. Then I'm gonna get to you guys' comments and questions and all that kind of good stuff. But it's just showing the difference. It's just really showing inflation. The price of Bitcoin in 2000. I'm sorry, not the price of Bitcoin. It's showing the prices of homes in US dollar, in USD, whatever, the dollar, and the price of it in Bitcoin over the years. So in 2016, a home was $280,000, and then it cost 664 Bitcoin. In 2020, a house was $328,000, but all of a sudden, it only costs 45 Bitcoin. And in 2024, $434,000, but the price in Bitcoin is only 6.6. It's just showing how the price of Bitcoin is just beating the crap out of the dollar. It's a good way to hedge yourself against inflation. And I know a lot of you are confused sometimes, maybe when you think about this stuff and you hear this stuff like, well, doesn't the price of Bitcoin go back down? Like we were just at 24,000, but it's still, regardless, it's still performing better to the dollar. So I would say even back when we were back in the 20s, it still was what, 18, it was 18 Bitcoin instead of 45 Bitcoin that it was in 2020. So either way, like it's a good way to hedge your investments against the inflation of the dollar. And I mean, they just printing this junk like crazy right now. Anyway, I don't want to get into that once again. I don't want people to think it's political. But let me say this. I keep telling y'all, to me, both of the parties work together. I want to play this video on this, but both of the parties work together. I don't care what nobody say. I know y'all all like to get up in the uproar and talk about which party is more stupid. Both of them stupid, to be honest. They both say stupid stuff. They both do stupid stuff. They both do extreme stuff. And at the same time, I agree with stuff on both sides, to be honest. So I'm not gonna let that kind of stuff make me divided amongst my friends, peers, and family members and all that kind of stuff. I see people just going to war on social media with people that they consider friends or associates, whatever. I'm gonna say it once again. Both of parties got some dumb stuff, like some stupid, absurd Twilight Zone type of crap. And then both sides also make sense on certain issues. But the part that I hate is what happens with politics is people treat it as one size fits all. If you in this party, you got to believe every single thing we got on our list. And then people just start adapting stuff. It gets to the point where people get where if their party says purple is the best color, they gonna trash every other color out there. Green is stupid. Brown is stupid. We only purple over here. I'm just like, they just make y'all adopt stuff that y'all don't even believe in, but you believe that in order to be aligned with the party, you gotta say that you believe in this stuff. So for me, I have views on both sides. I don't align with any particular party. I don't get into those arguments with people. Try to let people believe what they're gonna believe. As long as you're a decent human being, you got integrity, and you're not trying to abuse other people or mess over other people and stuff, because karma gonna get you anyway. I kind of let people do what they do. I'm not trying to go at war with nobody over politics, but it is what it is. But so we kind of early today. So I'm gonna read something. Ooh, we got very few comments today, but guys, get your comments in and questions that you may have, and I'll try to address those because I thought I was supposed to finish my research in like the last 2 days. I hope to God that I finished it like today because I got a lot of stuff to do the rest of this week. I really hope I finish this today, but I have 2 meetings today and some new stuff to research, and then the Patreon. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So some some of that was kind of on a whim, but the way this market moves, you just gotta move sometimes. You gotta make a move sometimes instead of just sitting there and then figure it out later. One thing I know, there's a lot of jokes about this in the black community. A lot of black comedians tell this joke like, with black people, we see somebody running, we just start running. Ask questions later. I'm not trying to see what we running from. I don't care. It could be a dinosaur. It could be gunfire. I'm running. If I see a can rolling down the street too fast, I'm running. I'm either running or I'm pulling out my pistol. It's gonna be one of the two, but I'm not too much, asking questions about what's going on. So sometimes you just got to, in this market, you just got to make a move and, you know, ask questions later. Anyways, let's get to some of these comments. Very few today. It's all good. I put the stream up late too, so I was sitting there talking to you guys on the Patreon. I was like, wait a minute, I haven't even put up that we having a stream today, so I had to go. I think I did pretty good. I think I did all right. I had a couple of minutes to spare putting that thumbnail up. I don't think y'all realize how much work it comes to even thinking about a thumbnail. Every single day, you got to think of a thumbnail. You know, thing is, I'm not really trying to clickbait anybody, but I do want my thumbnails to make sense. You know what I mean? So I want them to make sense. But it takes a while to think of these thumbnails sometimes. Trying to make sure we in order with batteries and plugged in. All right. Natty said, "Good morning, G. Crazy morning, market and Patreon." Yeah, it's crazy. I know the Patreon has been crazy. I haven't even looked at the market or my portfolio yet, and it's part of my morning routine. But it's just been so crazy that I haven't even gotten a chance to look. I'm about to take a glance right now. Um, yeah, I got to get to packing too, man. I mean, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy morning. Got some real good buy opportunities as well. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. Anyway, um, Lucas said some picks are going. Uh-oh. Some picks going on. I have never seen the new pick. Oh yeah, I mean that it's fresh, fresh. That one's fresh, fresh. I got to do. I like I said, I got a pile of researches I need to do already from the last 3 days. But I gotta push this to the front of the pile because obviously for obvious reasons. But I definitely think the pick is going to be real good. I just the things we got to figure out. Hopefully you and listen, yeah. Hopefully you guys can help with that. But because I got a lot of research to do on top of family matters and top of stuff to do with the house. So yeah, I appreciate that help as well. Katie Kate said Patreon is popping. Yeah, yeah, it's popping. I like listen. I know. Like I said, some people be trying to do stuff all the time to keep people distracted that nothing's really going on. But I think the last week was dumb quiet. At least for me, it was. Y'all be in there chilling, but I'm always out here researching. And you never have to wonder if I'm just sitting at home twiddling my fingers or, if I'm out playing golf or basketball or something. Like I'm always working because I'm doing this for myself, man. I make my money off crypto. I don't make my money off the Patreon. But yeah, whatever. Um, as he said, difficulty swapping this morning. Um, uh, okay, I'm gonna have to get into that one. Hold on. Let me see this. I'm gonna have to get on that. Maybe I'll make another video for that. I thought the other one would help out. Bullish Mike said, "Yeah, try that if you can." Natty said, "Oh, Natty must know somebody on here or something. I don't know who that is." Um, as he said, thanks for the the two picks this morning. Good work, bro. We see a 50x there as well. Yeah, yeah. I think these are really good, man. These are some really good picks. So um, that I'm telling you, that first one was like a dig. Like that was dumpster diving for that. I mean, it was a dumpster dive for real. So like I said, I'm still do some more research on it as I always try to do. And let me say this again. I said it already this stream, but I don't think a lot of people realize. Like I talked about how people get a little flustered by the volatility and stuff, which is understandable. But I don't think y'all understand. Like the faster this market moves, the less time even I'll be able to. I'll have to do research. That's why I'm trying to do all this research up front to making sure we're in a lot of good picks up front, so that have a lot of good picks up front, right? So that when we in the market, if we don't have time to research something, we got so many good picks that it don't even matter. But yeah, you don't have this leisure time. Be honest, I would say it's been some that I haven't had the leisure time to research. I was talking with one of our friends in the space the other day. I was like, yeah, I saw that pick, right? But in my mind, I was like, I got a couple of days to research that. I don't know why I thought that, because I did not have a couple of days of research. It just took off. So it's going to get faster. It's going to get much faster. And it's going to get to the point also, because I think what's happening. Let me say this: y'all seeing launches now. Y'all see a launch of a token, and the consensus is, and the smart way to think about it is, all right, this token just launched, and let me wait for the retracement, right? Boy, it's gonna be a coming time when the market's flying. It ain't gonna be no retracements. It's just gonna be it's gonna be up. That's all it's gonna be. So I want to try to measure your expectations when it comes to that. We're gonna be at a point in the cycle where you're just gonna have to buy, and like, okay, maybe it retraced a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like you got to position in. But it's gonna be moving real fast. So STL Solo said, thanks for the most recent buy alert. I've been waiting on a play on that chain. Yeah, yeah, I would realize that too. I do realize that, because a lot of people also are really not really bullish on Ethereum. It happens every cycle. Because a lot of the good plays are going to be on Ethereum. They are on Ethereum, and then once the market starts moving, and people are like, I forgot gas fees. Like them gas fees hit you, so everybody's people trying to find anything they can that's not on Ethereum. So you know it is what it is. But a lot of them still gonna be on Ethereum. But the good thing this cycle is we have a lot of interoperability going on. So a lot of tokens may launch on Ethereum because a lot of the liquidity and developers are there. But usually they branch out and try to be on another chain. Um, so yeah, Black as I said, BlackRock is suddenly one of the biggest blockchain proponents on the market. They like the idea of tokenizing assets. Yeah, BlackRock is always anything to do with financial. A lot of people even downplaying how much of their effect was going to be when they came over to crypto from traditional finance, whatever. And I was like, I don't know why you would downplay BlackRock. Like, they run pretty much everything. I was saying, like, it was like the last 5 years, they were trying to buy up all the doggone real estate. They were buying everything. They were buying houses. They was buying production companies, studios, and just everything they could. And I don't think a lot of people really understand who BlackRock is, but it's big money. I know this battery's not about to go out on me. I'm too lazy to even try to change it before it does. I'm gonna just wait till y'all say the sound go out. I know that sound crazy, but do I even have it? I got another battery in here. But yeah, BlackRock is always going to have a big influence. That's why a lot of people are coming into the market. So, um, yeah, but you also have to be careful in that sector because it's starting to get like AI too, where people just making any kind of trash projects they can and just tying it to the narrative. But let me tell you one thing I'm learning that I even said on one of the projects today. Like, you got to realize like some of this stuff is going to pump on narrative alone. And even for me, sometimes you can't be too smart. You just got to be like, all right, this is going to pump because this is that. You know what I mean? Um, you know what I mean? This is going to pump regardless. So you just kind of got to get on the wave sometimes. I try not to take too big of a risk because I understand there's other people that's watching what I do, especially as far as the buy alerts and Patreon. But sometimes you just kind of like, okay, this is gonna pump, so let me just jump on this. You kind of know what it's gonna do, and that's what happened with AI. People didn't care. They didn't care. They just started FOMOing into anything. Well, like I said, a lot of people got burned on it as well, though. So you can't just FOMO into something just because it's on the narrative. But yeah, yeah. Tunksy Hazel, can you educate a bit about dilution in crypto? What are the red flags? What are the red? I mean, there's so. Um, red flag. That's a really tough subject to talk about. What I mean, because a lot of plays they do come out with heavy dilution, and so the dilution is really the difference between circulating market cap and the fully diluted market cap, right? Um, but sometimes you have to look at and find the vesting schedules. So say sometimes, especially like with gaming picks, it'll be ridiculous. It might be like they might come out with 2% of the supply, right? And so the difference between the circulating market cap is this sounds crazy, but let's say the circulating market cap might be $2 million, but the fully diluted might be $100 million. That's a big difference. So there's a lot of dilution in between. But then you got to look at the vesting schedule to see are by the time you plan on selling, you got to determine if all of those tokens are going to be out in circulation by then. If not, sometimes it's only by the time you plan on selling, there's only going to be 20% of the tokens out from 2%, which means there's only a 10x change in dilution. You know what I mean? So, which means if the, let's say it means that the market cap runs, sorry, that means if the market cap runs 100x, but there's 10x dilution, that means you really got a 10x, if that makes any sense with the math or whatever. But it's kind of hard to say any red flags or whatever. I mean, sometimes I will say stuff as red flags, like one of the plays did have some. It's pretty crazy difference between the circulating and fully diluted. Um, but it just all depends. There's so many factors. It depends on the narrative that's going to pump it, because it could pump quicker before there is dilution. So say if there's only 2% out on the market, but by the time it does an astronomical pump, there's only 4% on the market. So you're really not doing too bad. You know what I mean? Some people look at the whole full picture. I've even seen, I think I'll be paying attention, but the last 10 to 12 days, I've been really quiet in the Patreon for some reasons that are aggravating that I told you guys about. But also, I've been researching and doing stuff with my family. But anyway, I saw y'all talking about one particular person in the space. I didn't say nothing about it. And the person that I feel like, I don't want to say I respect, but feels like a decent person. And so they were doing like price predictions or whatever. And it didn't make sense because they were like literally basing it all off the fully diluted. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, it's a respected person in the space, but I was like, I saw people complaining about it. I was like, let me go see what they're talking about. And I watched it and I was like, you're not making sense. Like, it didn't make it wasn't, it was really weird. It was really weird to watch. And I don't know if they was having an off day or not or whatever, but in a way it's smart. Yeah, because you could say, yeah, by the end of the cycle, this is what it'll be, but it's a really touchy subject because it's never solid, because it just depends on where you are in the cycle. It depends on how fast the project runs. Um, it's a lot of features, and I realize I usually factor in all these things, and most people don't. Most people just factor it in a bearish way or a bullish way. And like I keep saying on this channel, I'm a balanced type person. I try to look at both sides and make my predictions or whatever. That's why you hear my predictions are where they are, and they're a lot different from everybody else. You have the crazy people that are like, yeah, this is only going 2 to 5x, and I'm like, what? And then you got the people who's like, this going 1,000x, and I'm still like, what are you talking about? Like, you kind of gotta be in that middle area. And I talk about 50x in your portfolio a lot of times, and this is not changing. Like, this definitely, let me say this, we're definitely trying to we can do a 200x on our entire portfolios with all the plays combined. Like, that doesn't mean every play is going to do a 200x. It just means your portfolio combined, right? If we can do that, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, right? But I also tell people, I say, 50x or whatever is, you should be grateful for that. You should be thankful for that. But and to be honestly, like anybody, you should be grateful for 20x. You're not getting a 20x on your entire portfolio anywhere else. But we're trying to shoot for past that. I'm just saying that, like, don't y'all get crazy, because the stuff I've been saying it. And once again, like I said yesterday, I'm not trying to seem like I'm the guru of the space and I know it all, but I see a lot of people saying the type of stuff that I'm saying. Like, I think some of them know it and they just don't want to tell you early. But man, this market about to be saturated as I don't know what. There are going to be some projects maybe 1,000x. You're gonna be like, man, I wish I was in that project. You're not gonna catch every project for one. So you will see some, and you're gonna think that more projects should have been a 2,000 or 4,000x or whatever, and you might miss them. But it's gonna be a really saturated market. It's gonna be a lot of different projects out there, a lot of fake ones, a lot of real ones, a lot of scams, a lot of rug pulls, a lot of legit ones. It's gonna be a lot. So that money is gonna be spread across all these projects. So I mean, we're gonna see how it plays out. I just feel like we're gonna make some really good money, and so um, yeah, that's all I can say. I went on a tangent there. I don't even know how that tangent started. Oh, you asked about the dilution. Cedric said, "Do you expect the next bull run 2030 to be bigger than this one, or about the same?" Mm, I don't have a crystal ball, my guy. To be honest, I just think what I think is some of the plays or the plays that we're allowed to do right now are not going to be allowed. Like all these fake projects that people making up, and I said it. Some of them did pump, like some of them are pumping, but these little fake AI projects that people just making up, I think you're going to have some more validity behind your projects to prove that it's a real project. You're actually developing it. You actually have a team and all that kind of stuff. People said it last cycle, but I think this is one of the last big astronomical, like big runs or whatever. Some people say they think we'll have it next time, but with BlackRock and Fidelity and all these people coming into the market, I think we're going to get crypto regulation really soon. So I don't think we're going to get another one of these, which is why I'm trying to be so careful. I don't have time to try to run after everything that's pumping and then lose even 4% of what I can put in my portfolio and then me trying to make that up. I just don't play that game. As I said earlier, it's not trying to be braggadocious, but every time I talk to people in the space that I'm willing to talk about, like how much I've made, they're just like, how'd you do that? Because it sounds boring when I'm like, yeah, guys, just hold your tokens, just buy at a good price, and then hold them until you get some gains on them. But you like, bro, I just saw somebody get a 10x. So let me just get this 10x real quick and come back. Like, you can do that. I'm not talking anybody out of doing that, but I'm just saying sometimes you lose on 3 trades and you get one big trade. Like it just ain't adding up for me, man. I don't want to be in 4 trades and then lose on 3 and then win on one. That just would have equaled out holding. But it is what it is. I'm gonna leave that alone. Natty said the joke about black people, Cedric the Entertainer. Oh yeah. No, for real. That's how I am, man. Sometimes you just gotta make the move, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person. I'm always carrying. So either I'm gonna take off running or I'm gonna start blasting back. Like I ask questions later. Sir, you shouldn't have had your weapon out. I don't know why you was holding that AR like that, sir. I felt threatened and I just have to go to court. But I don't be trying to ask no questions, man. Sometimes you just gotta make a move. Cause like this market is gonna start moving really fast, y'all. And I would say even with the moving fast, try not to FOMO. Like you see something, like even if I put out a buy alert, I try to give enough information so you can go research real quick how you feel about it, get your stuff together. But just know that these times of days you might have 12 to even 48 hours sometimes to make a decision, but in a while you're not going to have that time. It's not going to be like that at all. Especially in peak bull, man. I've seen stuff launch and it just go 10x. Like I'm talking about 45 minutes. I'm not lying at all. If y'all been here, y'all know what I'm talking about. And you just like, I was gonna buy that. That's like a gone. That's why we trying to position ourselves now, and best as I can. My fairy tale scenario is to just like, be out dumb early, like just made like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna make this much this fast. I wanted to be like that. And while everybody's in peak bull and talking about go higher, I just want to be out if I can. That's what I'm trying to shoot for. Lucas said, "What's your thoughts on pre-having, post-having time? We expecting pumps or dumps on our alts, not a trader or anything. Just wondering." Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's so many points of views on it, and like I said, I keep saying, with BlackRock being here, we don't know how this is going to go. Bitcoin breaks all-time highs. The halving information is out there, and news is pushing that story. No telling what could happen. And the thing is, like somebody asked me the other day, you think blah 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 is next? I don't know what narrative is next. So you never know how. Like the thing is, okay, you're right. You have the halving, the Bitcoin halving. You got the pre-halving, post-halving. You got the ETFs. But what a lot of people don't factor in is, I'm gonna use this as an example. So we always like, okay, here goes the pre-halving pump, right? But how many people was really thinking about like, oh, Nvidia got a conference until people started telling you that Nvidia had a conference? That started a run by itself. Like, not just, I mean, of course, mainly AI coins caught it, but other people's their mindset was not thinking AI is running. They're like the market's running. So a lot of other tokens started running as well because it felt like we were because AI coins are altcoins. They felt like we was in altcoin running. So altcoins started running. So we never know what news could come out to just shift the entire market. You know what I mean? So um, yeah, hopefully that made sense what I said. What she just sent me. Let me say this too. This is way off topic here, y'all. Way off topic, but not. So apparently, and I'll try not to talk about this stuff, but apparently, I'm gonna say this, y'all. Speaking of the Cedric Entertainer thing, one thing that really gets me about this day and age is this internet, social media stuff. Where I'm from, this stuff would not last. A lot of people be talking hot stuff on social media. I miss when stuff was in person. Like if you had something to say to some person, if you were scared to say something, you didn't say nothing because you know they was gonna punch you in the face. But apparently, some influencer that I don't even know, I've never said anything about them or anything, but apparently he keeps putting my name in their mouth on their channel or whatever. I don't even know this person. And making jokes about like my lady brought me water time one time on the stream, and apparently they got a recurring joke about her bringing me water. For one, my lady is not a maid. So, dude, unless you can meet me in person and because now you put my lady's name in your mouth. I'm sorry, that just switched real quick because she just sent me a message about something else. My point is we help each other. But now you put my lady's name in my mouth, in your mouth. So you can talk all that hot stuff on social media and on your mic on your YouTube channel. But bro, if you see me in person, I will lay you out. Like I'm dead serious. Don't ever put my lady's name in your mouth or talk about my lady like that. My lady is not a maid. We help each other. That's what's wrong with a lot of you stupid couples these days anyway. Like I help her, she helps me. If I need to bring her water, I bring her water. Neither one of us are slaves to each other. So we're always helping each other. So I don't know why do put my name in his mouth. I don't know him. I've never said a word about this dude. But apparently he makes jokes on his channel every day about her bringing me water one time when she brought me water. But yeah, y'all, yeah, everybody like to act hard on YouTube and social media. But where I'm from, it's face to face, bro. So if you can't say it in my face and you think because you got a little cutoff shirt on, dude, I will drop you. So keep my name out your mouth. Sorry, I just had to switch tunes there right quick, but I don't appreciate people disrespecting my lady like that or me. So anyways, moving right along. Sorry, back to smiles. Um, let's see what we got here. Mm. Revolut recently unveiled plans to launch a crypto exchange targeted towards advanced traders as revealed by Coindesk. I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't even know that one. Um, STL said, I can't do the gas fees. I was here during the peak of the last cycle trying to buy meme coins on ETH. I only hold very little ETH, a bunch of Pepe. No, man, it's like I said, I mean, if you make big gains, what I mean, it's I know a lot of people say they don't want to spend the I guess the $80 or whatever. Or sometimes it can get up to 200, but if you made tremendous gains, it's not gonna matter after a while. That's how I feel. I don't know. But yeah, ether gas fees are crazy. They really are crazy. Lucas said also I need some motivation regarding saturation. I feel like it's going to hit our picks hard in terms of having less liquidity in tokens and being shared between 15,000. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It really is crazy. So I think we're gonna be fine. That's why I try to choose picks that I feel like I know um, the backers are gonna really push it. Um, the backers are gonna really push it. They got influencers on their team that's gonna push it. Actually, I think I see one of my clients messaging me now. Okay. So I try to pick the picks, and then I do, whether I mention it or not, I do try to pick picks on that are on different chains or whatever. So they're not, it's not one ecosystem that we're just in, whatever. Because different blockchains are going to push their different tokens. They're what do they call it? They're their foundations. Yeah, they're gonna push their different tokens. So yeah, but I feel you on that, Luca. But I think we're definitely fine. We're definitely fine in the tokens that we're in. But I definitely understand the concern. That's why I'm always hesitant. Like sometimes even picks. That's why, like I said, I was quiet for the last couple of days, just trying to figure out, all right, what different chains can we get on, making sure you're in different tokens, different narratives, on all that kind of stuff. So, and like I said, like don't think we got everything now. I mean, I know a lot of people's like, well, so I only got so much liquidity, whatever, to put in stuff. Um, so yeah, so but there's a lot of picks still to come out. So, but I think we good. But I understand your concerns. I definitely do. What you see is what you get. Says I'm trying to pay this house off and open a small photo film studio. Oh, cool, cool, yeah. I think we're gonna be able to do it. There's gonna be a lot of liquidity in the market. And like I said, we in some good picks and stuff. And like I said, long as people spend their money in a smart way. I know some. Listen, I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just trying to say, like, make sure you got enough money because a lot of people literally are already planning their Lambo purchase and they don't even know how much money they're gonna make. I mean, it's cool to have aspirations and stuff, but make sure the house is taken care of first. You know what I'm saying? You got your house taken care of, with your kids, your spouse, your significant other, whatever. Make sure all that's taken care of first, and then yeah, uh, what you see is what you get. His portfolio should the focus now be to have all your picks from what's launching now, then reinvest some gains in projects launching much later during the bull run. Need about four more for my portfolio. That's a good question too. So the thing is, we never know when some of these are going to run. So it will be sometimes, even with buy alerts that I may put today or tomorrow, that you may be like, I may want to hold out for something else. Like, don't ever feel pressure to rush into a buy alert or whatever. You don't have to buy all of them. The thing is, there's some good ones coming out, but what I will say is a lot of them are changing, like how what they're launching at, and they're launching at much higher valuations than we thought or whatever. So, like I said, there's been at least 4 to 5 that I just knew for a fact that I was going to hold in my portfolio. But when they launched, I was like, nah, I'm good on that. And sometimes I can, I'm not the all seeing person, but sometimes I can look further into stuff and kind of see, like, yeah, I like it for this and that reason, but I only like it at a certain price point. And now I might be shooting myself in the foot with this one, but I'm gonna show you, like, even when trying to pull this one up now, even when I was talking about Dimension way before, yeah, see, look, that show you there. So I knew about this project like months and months ago, and I introduced a lot of my friends to it as well. And so I was just like, I just don't like where it launched at. Like, I love Dimension. I love the tech. I love what it does and whatever. I was bullish on it. I've been following it forever. And so you see when it launched, I was like, yeah, this is not where I want to buy it at. So it did start. It went from like $6, it went up to 8, but you see where it's coming down now, because I think a lot of people have the same mindset. Listen, I fully know that this is a a big project, and it could end up in the billions, and I'm not saying it can't, but it's just not where I wanted to buy it at. If it would have came out like 300, 400 million, maybe 500 million, I would have probably got into it. And I know you're like, well, it's close to there now. It's not the same. You be thinking it's close, but that's almost a 2x difference, which is the difference between a 100x and a 200x, or a 10x and a 20x. So it just didn't come out at the price that I really wanted to buy it at. Um, but it's just not that project. It's a lot of projects that have came out or that are coming out that are launching at much higher valuations. So, you can get in some of the picks now. You don't have to get in every pick that's in the buy alerts. Get in the ones you believe in. And I know you like, but you're like, well, if you like these, though, that means they're gonna run, and I don't want it to run, and I not be in it. That's another form of FOMO too. Get in the ones you understand, the ones you can follow, and all that kind of good stuff. And then try to play it like that, and then maybe you can get some new plays in the future. Um, and that is the same. I'm 2x away. I'm 2x away from reaching my goal after joining the Patreon. The goal is 20x now. Cool, cool, cool. What you say is what you get. So I know the feeling. My husband worked so hard. I just want to help pay off the mortgage, pay our debts, and just travel the world for a year. So yeah, exactly. That's my goal, man. Just to be chilling out, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Um, John Ferguson said, "Do you have any suggestions for people that can only afford a couple hundred every other week, just putting in what I can afford?" Oh yeah, a lot of people are doing that. So yeah, I definitely do. I mean, that's kind of what my channel is geared towards. Like helping people. Like I said, I believe I have a lot of single moms in it too. Like my mother was a single mother or widow, or however you want to see it. So everybody doesn't have the same amount. Some people got 10 grand to throw in every pick, and they just throw in 20, 45, 50 grand. And then some people like, hey, I got 50 grand to throw in these picks. So yeah, we try to cater to everybody, and just making sure everybody can make some money. As I said, for the people that join your group late, do you think we should only buy the latest picks because we may be late for the old ones, or you still think the old picks are still good? It depends on which ones you're talking about, because some of them are ran, some of them have not. Some of them some of them have ran and still are a good entry. So it just depends on which ones. But I have to look. I have to look. I think the ones that I put since I had the Patreon, like we had some ones before the Patreon when we had the text group. That this, like I said, they've already ran like 50 and 60x, and I think even one of the ones in the Patreon has. So maybe it's a little late on a couple, but um, we can talk about it in there. What time is it? Because I do got this meeting. Tunk said, I love the Patreon. Everyone there is realistic. Yeah, we try to keep it grounded. Like I said, not like trying to talk myself up, but it's like it is. That's what any group, where the CEO of a company or whoever, I hate to call myself a leader, but I found the Patreon, whatever. It's the tune of that person that controls like the energy of the Patreon and stuff. So I do try to stay realistic or whatever, and just try to make sure that people manage their expectations and stuff. Crypto Chick says, since when is bringing water to your partner a bad thing? Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I've heard one person told me about it, but then two more people told me about it. And I was like, who said this? I was like, I don't even know this person. I've never said anything bad about them. I don't know them. But for some reason, they like roasting me on their channel. I hate to say this because it sounds corny, but they must just be a hater or something, because I don't even know the person. Never said anything about them. But I was like, I do know for unquestionably, unquestionably for a fact that I could lay them out. Like, I don't, like I said, I think people come on my channel and they think, oh, I know him because I seen him on YouTube. You don't know me in real life, dude. I will drop you and you will not get up. Don't put my name in your mouth, and especially not talking about my lady, calling her a maid. Like, my lady is not a maid. Actually, well, we wait on each other just by, I want to say I wait on her more, but we we help each other out as much. When she needs something, I do it. When I need something, she does it. So maybe they're just a lame. Maybe they can't even get it. Maybe they're incel. They can't even get a girlfriend. Because why are you talking about my relationship and you supposed to have a crypto channel? Like I said, you say all that in YouTube or whatever, and you can get loud on YouTube or whatever. But I guarantee you, if you saw me face to face, you would be hush mouth. Like, these people just be, social media gets on my nerves. Like, I miss the days. Like, what was it? Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Like, this day, everybody's be saying stuff on social media, and y'all seen the viral videos when somebody was talking about somebody on social media, and then they see them in person, and they just standing there. That's how a lot of these people be. You got keyboard warriors. They just be talking nonsense. Like, I don't even know this person. Never mentioned their name. Didn't even know they had a channel. Nothing about them. But apparently, they got my name in their mouth every chance they get. Like, I don't play those games, man. I ain't from the social media area. I don't play that. Anyways, Taddy said, I really like that first alert. The narrative could send. Yeah, I think it's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna do really well. Taddy said the supply and tokenomics. Yeah, yeah. Let me scoot this over here so I can see. Some people just hate seeing others happy and thriving. Your happiness somehow takes away from his happiness. Makes sense. I guess so, man. Because when I say I don't know, dude, Natty said, ignore these trolls. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just weird. Like, my thing, say something about me, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, whatever. But don't start talking about my lady, talking about she's a maid. Like, she's not no maid. Like, we take care of each other. So people gonna hate, man. It is what it is. And the thing is, I even tell her this all the time. Like, I don't get worked up because I told y'all the story about my TIAs and stuff like that. So even when you see me like kind of getting rowdy, like, I've learned, I'm almost like a monk. I've learned to control my energy. Like, I don't, like, my blood pressure doesn't go up, but if it does, that's even more. I don't think people, I keep saying, people see my smile on the channel. They're like, oh, he's a little teddy bear playful dude. I hate to use this because, believe, I'm not into the whole astrology thing, but to make it understandable for other people, I am definitely a Gemini. I am the nicest person in the world, or I can be the meanest person. And not trying to gloat about that, but I can flip the switch real quick, and I don't think people understand that I would be the true definition of a Gemini. Like seriously, man. So yeah, they think I know him. I've seen his channel. He's corny. I've seen him cry on his channel. He must be soft. Okay, you keep thinking that. You keep thinking that. Natty said, "Yeah, we about to be out here too." Natty said, "Got a dip. Need to buy these new picks." Oh, okay, cool. Tina said, "We appreciate your lady. No time for haters and amateur childish adults." Yeah, man, they it's crazy. But listen, y'all, y'all should know by now. This ain't no regular channel. Talk about everything. So appreciate you guys for coming and hang out on the channel. I didn't even think we made it to an hour, but hopefully you guys enjoy the new buy alerts and get in on those. And I'm going to do some more research on them now. And I got a meeting that I'm going to do some more research on those. And I got 2 clients today. So yeah, appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna catch you next time.